execution works with the V8 engine, and then how exactly V8 engine mechanism, the basic architecture we have seen, what do you mean by, hot code or cold code, and when exactly the turbofan will come into the picture, parsing and all those things. We have seen that in fact, in the last session also, we have created one very simple stuff that we have written, although we don't know what we have written, like simple variables, functions, and all those things. Nothing to worry about. We will cover each and everything properly in upcoming chapters. So this is like a very simple code just to understand that is it really working or not, like turbofan and all those things are working or not, right? Okay, great. Now, let me just simply close this. I'll do one thing because see, it's very ugly to write the code like this, right? Creating the file directly in the folder. So why don't we do one thing? We can create a nice folder name, right? For example, let's say I'm creating, this is my source code, SRC folder or whatever the folder name. And then I move this particular app.js file over here and then simple move it, right? It is always a good practice that you create a folder and then write the file names over there, right? So let's see, this is the SRC folder that I have created. Inside the SRC folder, one more folder if I really want to create. So you can click on this plus icon for the folder. If you really want to create a file, you can click on this plus icon for the file as well. Simple. Okay. Now, today's topic is all about, we are going to talk what do you mean by data types? What do you mean by let variable, where variable, and the constant also. Very simple topic, very easy topic, but people, they get confused, especially with the where, let, what do you mean by hoisting, what do you mean by, how to use let, when to use constant, when to use where. You must have seen this interview question also, that what is the difference between where, let, and the constant, right? So we are going to talk about the data types. Okay. So I simply create a nice file name. Let's see meaningful file name, data types.js file. But see, you try to understand one thing in JavaScript. I cannot write something like this that, okay, hey, I really want to create one integer I is equal to 10. See, it's immediately giving me the error. I cannot say something like this, okay, I really want a double value, double D is equal to 12.33, something like this. Because as I told you earlier also, that JavaScript is what? Runtime language or compile time language? JavaScript is a runtime language. Everything will be decided at the runtime, right? JavaScript has no idea what are you writing here, right? So JavaScript says we don't have any keywords like integer, double, string, and all, and all those things, right? We don't understand what do you mean by types when you write the code. Type means the type of that particular data. So we are going to talk about the data types. Data types means the type of data. It could be what? It could be a number also, right? It could be a Boolean also. It could be, let's say, for example, a string value also, for example, like this. So here JavaScript says, okay, you just declare any variable that you want to declare. For example, let's say I'm declaring x is equal to 10. But right now we cannot write integer, we cannot write, double or anything like this, just like we do it in other languages. So JavaScript says, okay, why don't you create all the variables by using three keywords? So there are three keywords that they have introduced. One is where, another one is the let, and another one is the constant. Remember this thing. So whenever we are creating the variables in JavaScript, we will always create the variables with the help of either we are going to use where, let, and constant. I'll tell you when to use what. We will never create the variable like this, x is equal to 10. No, it looks ugly. It does not make any sense to write the variables like that, right? So how to declare it? So first we are going to talk about this where keyword. Where is used in, remember this thing, used in old JavaScript. It's very old way of using variables in the JavaScript. It's almost, I will not say deprecated, but never use it. Okay, in modern JavaScript or any tools that you're developing or any with the Playwright, if you're writing it, never use a where keyword. Why? It's having its own problems. We will talk about it. So see, I'm declaring with the where, and remember every keyword will start with the small letter. I cannot write V capital here. And these are the inbuilt keyword. These are the existing keywords which are already available in the JavaScript. So I simply say where x is equal to 10. So how will you read this line? It's very simple. 10 is the value, equal to is the assignment operator, x is the variable name, and where is the keyword, right? So when I run this particular program, At the runtime, what will happen? At the runtime, JavaScript will decide that what is the type of X. So can anyone tell me what is the type of X? It's a number, Boolean, string, right? So it will check its value at the runtime. Okay, 10. So then it will decide, okay, X is a number, but not at the runtime. I mean, not at the compile time. Compile time means when I write the code. Everything will be decided at the runtime over here. So this is the first thing in the JavaScript. Second problem with the where, I mean, major problem with the where is not the second problem. The first problem with the where is that the moment I write where X is equal to 20, have you ever seen something like this in other languages? If you're coming, let's say from Java. If you don't, that's okay. What is the problem? X is equal to 10, where X is equal to 20. Then again, I'm writing where X is equal to 30. What does it mean? It means duplicate variables are allowed. Don't you think it's so confusing? X is equal to 10, X is equal to 20, X is equal to 30. Like 3 times you have declared the variable and the variable name is exactly same. And then whenever I want to print the value, see, there is a shortcut. Okay, just like we use in Java system.out.println, here we have to use console.log. So what is the shortcut? CLG. It will automatically generate console.log. And what do you want to print? Let's say I really want to print the value of X. So what is the value of X if I run it? See this, I'm running this particular. Okay, I'll show you how to enable this run icon also. You don't need to execute that command, node command every time. I'll show you how to enable this after the session, don't worry. But simple, let's run this particular code. So that's why it says 30 over here. But will you use this particular kind of code in the real-time projects? Don't you think it's confusing? Where name equal to Naveen, name equal to Naveen, name equal to Naveen. 3 variables that you have declared with the where keyword, same variable name, duplicate variables are allowed with the where. It is like chances are very high that, okay, you will maybe introduce, someone will overwrite your value, might be possible, or maybe it will introduce a bug also here. But in the language like Java and C#, it will give you the error. See, if you quickly see in Java, just to give you a basic idea, if I write integer I is equal to 10, in the next line, I cannot write the same variable integer I is equal to 20. See, this is giving me the error over here while writing the code is giving me the red line here, error here. But here, there is no red line error. There is no runtime error also, nothing. It's just simple passing it and then running it here. Right? Okay, so this is the first problem. But can I write it like this? Let's say I'm declaring another variable where y is equal to 100. And then I'm writing y is equal to 200. And then I'm writing y is equal to 300. What is this? This is called reassignment. Is it allowed? Is it a valid code? Yes, this is absolutely fine. When I'm declaring, okay, initially y is equal to 100. Then after that, I'll say, okay, no, I really want to change the value of y. Y is equal to 200 and y is equal to 300. So how many variables got created, let's see, in the memory? One variable or 3 variables. In this case, only one variable got created. But in this case, 3 duplicate variables got created here, right? So if you really want to write the code, better you write with the reassignment, but don't declare it. So that's why we don't prefer the where variable. It is always used in the older version of the JavaScript, but in the modern JavaScript, in the latest JavaScript, we never use it like this. Right? So now if I print the value of y, what is the current value of y? 100, 200 or 300? It will always give you whatever the latest value. The latest value is 300 will be given to you here. So what is this? The first concept that we have written, this is called declaration. Second thing that we have written, the reassignment. Can we reassign? Yes, initially we assigned with 100. After that, I say, okay, no, y is equal to 200. After that, I'll say y is equal to 300. So what will happen inside the memory? So try to understand that every language, every programming language will work on some memory, right? Every language, either you talk about Java, C#, Python, whatever, everything will consume a memory in your laptop somewhere, right? So what will happen? Let's see, sometimes I'm writing the first time I'm writing y. Y is equal to what? Y is equal to 100 over here. After that, I say, okay, no, 200. So 100 will be replaced by 200 over here. And then after that, I'm saying y is equal to 300. So 200 will be replaced by 300. Then I'll say, okay, print the latest value of y. So what is the latest value of y here? The latest value of y is 300 over here. So that's why it's giving me 300 here. Remember that. No, I cannot write capital V here. When you write the capital V, There is no syntax like capital V here like this. It will start giving you, the parser will start giving you error here. Okay, so all the keywords will always start with the small letter only, right? But here in the memory, how many variables will be created? 3 variables. Okay, and remember in the JavaScript, there is no compulsion that, okay, you're writing a semicolon, but it is always a good practice that after every line, after every statement, you are putting a semicolon so that your code will look good. All the lines are separated properly, and then code looks better here. Okay. The third concept of the where, see this, have you ever heard about hoisted? What do you mean by hoisted or hoisting? Both are same thing. What does it mean? See this carefully. Here I'm writing console.log and then t. And then in the next line that I'm writing, t is equal to 90. What is the problem with this code? No, 3 variables will be there, right? Because 3 times we have written 3 duplicate variables in the memory, 3 times it will be storing. But here only 1 time it will be storing. So what is this? Hoisting means, see this, what I'm doing here. So first you tell me what exactly the value of t, and then after that I'm writing where t is equal to 90 over here. So see, when I'm running this particular program, and then I'm seeing undefined over here, not null, undefined, not 90. Don't you think it's very weird? Why? Because you are trying to access the t before declaring it, right? Where t is equal to 90, right? And all the languages will work with what? All the languages will start running line by line. So first it will go to this particular line at the runtime. It will check, okay, fine, what is the value of t? It will try to print undefined. And then after that, you are declaring the value of t is equal to 90. And then again, you are printing the value of t. What will be the output in that case? See this, if I'm running it again, then in that case, now it will start giving me 90. But don't you think that, okay, this is a very weird code that you have written, that before declaring the variable, you are trying to access that particular variable. That variable will give you undefined. This concept is called the hoisting. It means the variable t is hoisted. And then where is actually allowed to do the hoisting without any error. See, it's not giving me the error. Can you do the same thing in other programming languages? No, there is no purpose. This is the bug, we can say that in the JavaScript in the beginning. That's why people, they don't use it. That how can you, sometime what happens, okay, in the older version of JavaScript, what we used to do, okay, let me just print it. Later on, I will decide what will be the value of the t. But this is not the way in the modern, or in fact, we don't write the code like this. We always write, okay, first you declare all the values. And then after that, whenever you want to access them, or any performance or any operation you want to perform on this particular variable t, do after line number 22. Does not make any sense, right, to print this particular value before this particular line number 22. It does not make any sense, right? So in that case, hoisting is bad approach. And then because of this particular where keyword, hoisting is allowed, right? So how to solve these 3 problems? In fact, second is not a problem. This is just a simple reassignment, but this is a major problem, duplicate variables that we have created, right? And then third thing is also, we can say the third option point is also, we say, okay, this is hoisting. This is ugly code. Someone can write, okay, n number of times. Let's say I'm writing console.log A, B, C, D, and I'm not declaring it. So I'll keep getting undefined, 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 unnecessary, right? So that's why the JavaScript introduced the let keyword, right? So what is let keyword? Let's see. So again, I'll do with what? Again, I'll try to declaration. So redeclaration is allowed or not? What do you think? If I write with the let keyword, L is small, it's a keyword. And let's say I'm writing let p is equal to 10. If I try to write let p is equal to 20, is it allowed? See, immediately parser is giving me the error. P is equal to 10, let p is equal to 20. Don't you think it's very much like Java programming? Yes, we can use a string also, Priya. Wait for some time. We'll come to the string also, okay? So don't you think that, okay, this is a right way of writing the code or not? Of course, this is the right way. Otherwise, anyone can just see, this is so risky with the where variable. Let's see, I have written like a total bill amount is equal to 100. After 100 lines of code, someone can easily overwrite. another variable. Now this variable will come into the picture. Then again, after 10 lines of code, again, I update it, right? So 3 variables unnecessary I have used. And don't you think it will be so confusing that which variable I have to use? Bill amount number 1, bill amount number 2, or bill amount number 3? But with the let, you cannot do that. Yeah, Shantala, we are using Visual Studio Code, right? In the last session, we have already discussed about it. So this is redeclaration is not allowed. Remember that. Okay, please note it down. Redeclaration not allowed with the let. This is very powerful feature with the let. Okay, with the let. If I really want to print the value of P, what will be the output? Whatever the latest value is going on, it will just simply give me 10 over here. Right? But let's see if I write it like this. Let A is nothing. And then I'm printing without assigning anything. Right? I say, okay, let A, but I'm not assigning anything. If you don't assign anything, you don't give any value to A, what exactly the default value of A? Not 0. How can we say this is an integer? So the default value will be undefined. Remember that. Same thing with the where also, same thing with the let also. So is it a good practice that, okay, you are not declaring anything? If you want, you can do it, but immediately, if you say simple declare without assigning it, you try to print, it will always give you undefined, not null. Okay, don't compare it with Java. It will give you undefined here. So first of all, redeclaration is allowed in where? I'm coming on this point also, Rohal, wait. Redeclaration is allowed. So see this, I'm writing this important point here. Redeclaration is allowed with the where. That's why we don't prefer it in the real-time programming. In the real-time JavaScript, we don't allow where. But redeclaration with the let, it's not allowed. If you don't assign anything, it will start giving you undefined. But what about the reassignment? Is this allowed? No, I told you, right? There is no compiler in the JavaScript. Naveen. Okay, this is just a parser. If any syntax mistake or anything that we are doing, the parser is doing it. Last time we discussed, right? There is no compiler in the JavaScript. JavaScript compiler will come into the picture at the runtime only. When you write the code, there is no compiler. Okay. Now, what do you mean by reassignment? Is this allowed? Let's try that. So let's see, I'm writing your total billing amount is, let's see, 900, for example. I want to change it again, reassign. Total is equal to, let's see, 970. Yes, of course. This should be allowed and it's absolutely fine. Again, after a few lines of code, I say, okay, no, total bill amount is 1000. Then in that case, if I print the value of total, we will see that we have wait for some time. We will see about the memory allocation also when we talk about other data types. Okay, that time we will see the memory allocation, ranges and everything. First, try to understand let and where. So what is the latest value of total? Quickly. See this. When I run this, the latest value of total is simple 1000 over here. Yeah, very straightforward. So of course, reassignment, obviously it should be allowed in other programming languages also, everywhere, with the where also, with the let also. In the JavaScript, reassignment is absolutely fine without any problem. But what about the hoisting? What do you think? Is this allowed? Let supports that, the hoisting part. See this, let's try that. So here I'll say console.log. I'll say some billing amount, or let's take a normal variable. Let's say I'm taking variable h, right? And then I'm writing let h is equal to 25. So now tell me at line number 40, what will be the output? Hoisting is allowed or not? See, hoisting is allowed. Parser is not giving me any error. Again, I would say there is no compiler, guys, at the compile time. When we write the code, do we have any compiler? We discussed about it, right? Only and only parser. Parser is checking the basic rules, basic syntax, spelling mistakes, comments, and all those things. That's it. No compilation. So what will be the output at line number 40? I'm writing let h is equal to 25. So see this. It will give you undefined or it will give you error. See, when I run this particular program, it will start giving you error, not undefined. See, this is giving me error. It says, hey, I cannot access h before the initialization. right? So here it will start giving you the error. Why is giving me the error? Because hoisting is allowed, but with the error at the runtime. RT means at the runtime. Remember this. So don't you think it's a better handling of the hoisting that before the declaration, how can you access the H? Wait, Kiran, we will see what are different data types. Okay, wait for 10 more minutes. Okay, first to understand the difference between let and the where, and then we will see string and other data types also. Okay, so will you write the code like this? Let's see, in Playwright, you're writing something like this. Okay, I'm writing get the title, get the value of the element, get the text of that particular element, but before that, I'm printing it. And here you're writing get text method or text content method. Don't you think it's very weird that how can you like access before declaring it? The value is assigned at line number 41, and you are trying to access the value of H before line number 41, right? So here parser will not give you any error. And then after that, it will give you the error over here. And yes, program will be terminated at this particular line. It will not proceed further, right? So that's why you see that, okay, cannot access H before the initialization. And you see that, okay, at line number 40 is giving me the error over here in this line. So can I say hoisting is allowed? But with what? But with the error at the runtime. Runtime means when you write the code, no error. See, it's not giving me any red color sign or any red line or anything here, right? So this is simple. Remember that. Reference error means this H is not pointing to any reference, like any value. So all the types of JavaScript errors generally written with the reference errors only. Got it? So if someone is asking you, what is the difference between where and let? Can you explain that quickly? Hoisting is allowed with the let? No, it's not allowed. At the runtime, it will give you the error. Reassignment is allowed? Yes, it is allowed. What about the duplicate variables is allowed with the let? No, duplicate declarations are not allowed. But what about the where? Duplicate variables are allowed here. With the same variable name, it's allowed. You can write it without any problem. So now which one you prefer? Gaurav, come on, this is not in our hand, right? I totally agree. While writing the code, it's better to get the error. But JavaScript not designed by you and me. JavaScript designed in that way only, everything you will get it at the runtime. Okay. So we have to go with the rules, right? Whatever the rules are defined with the JavaScript, we have to go with the rules. We cannot assume the things here. So which one you prefer, guys? Let or where? That's why you see in everywhere in the Playwright when we practice or we design the framework or you pick anything, any existing frameworks or people are working it, they always use let instead of where. So avoid where, never use where. This is like almost, I would say, outdated, not deprecated. It's outdated completely. Okay. Now the third also we are going to talk about quickly is the constant. Can anyone tell me what is the constant in Java? Which keyword we have to use if you know, otherwise just ignore it. Final variable, right? Final keyword. Same thing here in the constant in JavaScript also, how to declare it. The keyword is constant, C-O-N-S-T. Write any variable name. What is the value of pi? 20 divided by 22 divided by 7, 3.14. So I simple write 3.14. Is it a universal truth? That value of pi cannot be 10, right? Value of pi cannot be 5. Value of pi is always 3.14, right? So in that case, whenever we see the value is always fixed, it's a universal truth. Then in that case, we always go with the constant. And what is the naming convention that you have to follow? Whenever you're declaring, see, remember this small things. Whenever you're declaring any constant variable, the naming convention I will follow with the capital letter. See, value of pi. If I write that, okay, the login page title. So I simply write it like this, C capital, and then with the underscore. So I'll write login title is equal to what? Login title will be a string or number. Let's see, login page title is a string. So I have to write the string in single quote or double quote. So for example, let's say I'm writing, this is my login page. Okay. In JavaScript, I'm coming on that point also. Wait for 10 more minutes. The strings can be written within single quote also, within double quote also. But what is the naming convention we have to follow? The naming convention we have to follow is the underscore and the capital letter here. Now see this, you try to manipulate the things. I say pi is equal to 90.99. Is this allowed? Let's try to run it. See, it will start giving me the error. First of all, see, H is giving me the error. So first of all, can I comment it out? Control / comment it out, and let's try to run it again. See what exactly the error is coming. It says that, okay, hey, pi is equal to 90.99. Type error is coming, assignment to constant variable. How can you reassign the constant variable? It's not allowed, right? Because this is a universal truth. This is a fixed value of the pi, so I cannot change it. Exactly. Let's say tomorrow you're writing any XPath or any CSS selector, and you wanted, okay, XPath title CSS selector will never be changed. In that case, I can go with the constant over here. So see here, it will start giving you the error that, okay, assignment to the constant variable not allowed here. It means you cannot change the constant variable's value. So this will give me the error over here, right? Can anyone tell me the another constant, which is a universal truth? Wait, I'm coming on that point also. Can I say that, okay, total number of days in a week? So I'll write days in week is equal to what? 7. It is not mandatory. It's always a good practice to write the capital letter with underscore. In every programming language, it is always a good practice that you're defining the constant variable so that it will like clearly visible, totally different from others. It's clearly visible. Okay, someone has written capital letter with underscore. If you don't want to write, you can ignore it. It's not mandatory, but it's always a good practice over here. Month in a year. How many months in a year? 12 months, right? Total number of days in a particular month. Maximum number of days are 31, right? So like this, we can use it. So these are the fixed values. These are the constant values that will never be changed. It should not be changed. So for example, let's see if I'm writing one let, and then I'm writing total number of days in a week is 7. And then I'm calculating my salary for my employees that every 7 days I'm giving $100 and multiply by 7, or let's say multiply by 7 days. It means number of days. So what is the value of salary, guys? If I run it, this is a sign for the multiplication, right? So simple multiplication, simple mathematics, 700. Don't you think I have introduced a bug here? Why? Because days is equal to what? 7. Tomorrow, anyone can manipulate it. See, now I'll say days is equal to 10. So now, how much salary I have to give now? See, I have updated now days equal to 10 from 7 to 10. Now I have to spend 1,000, right? Extra 300 I have to spend. So again, I'm running it. And you see that, okay, now 1,000. So code is absolutely working fine. But don't you think that this days is equal to 10 that I have declared over here, days equal to 10, it should be written with what? To avoid the bug, it should be written with the constant. Exactly, right? So I have to write a constant over here. Now, if someone is trying to manipulate, see, days equal to 10. Now you try to run it again. See this, I'm running it. It will start giving me the error here. See this, assignment to constant variable not allowed. Got it? When to use constant? In our framework also, title, right? If you take some example, title of the page, URL of the page, make it constant over here, right? Whenever you talk about, let's say, total number of days in a week, when you handle the calendar handling or something like this, total number of, month in a year, we will provide a constant value here. So whenever the universal value, let's say pi, you're doing some mathematical calculation, the value of pi is always 3.14. We will use the constant value here. Whenever we declare, okay, the distance between these two things, that in that case will provide the constant over here. No, let's ignore array. Array is different thing, right? But can we create a duplicate constant variables? Very good. Logo is a very good example. Very good. Logo is also a very good example. Number of hours is also constant. Yes. Right. So whenever you feel that, okay, this value should not be changed, declare it with the constant here. Yes, host of the meeting is Naveen. You cannot change it. Very good. Tomorrow it's not like, okay, instead of Naveen, Priyanka is teaching to everyone. It's not like that, right? Your trainer name is always constant. Okay, base URL. Yes, very good example. Base URL. Very good, Viraj. The base URL is always fixed, google.com, naveenautomationlabs.com. Some formulas that you are calculating, which is like universal formula, right? But can I write it like this? Let's say I'm writing constant TR is equal to 100. And then again, I'm writing constant TR is equal to, let's see, 200. Is this allowed? Duplicate variables are allowed? No, strictly not allowed. Okay. So see this, again, I'm writing the duplicate not allowed here with the constant also. So never try to create the duplicate variables here like that, right? Can I reassign the constant? No, I cannot reassign. See this, we were trying to reassign the value of the pi. It was giving me the error, right? And see this, can I write it like this? See this carefully. I'm writing once again, the value of pi is equal to 3.14, but I'm not writing it. I'm just declaring it. Okay, I'm just writing, okay, fine, but there is no assignment. Why it's giving me the error? The parser, when I'm writing the code, is giving me the error. See this? It says, okay, hey, constant declaration must be initialized. It's asking the question that, okay, hey, why are you doing this? You are writing the value of pi and it's a constant. It means constant means the universal truth. So please assign the actual value. So what is the important thing with the constant? It has to be initialized. You cannot keep it blank. You cannot keep, there is no value after equal to, right? If you try to run it also, let's say I'm trying to forcefully run it also, let's click on this button, run button. See, again, it's giving me the error over here. It says, okay, missing the initialization in the initializer in the constant declaration, right? But can I do the same thing with the let and where? Yes, that I can do it, right? So never declare it like this. It will start giving you the error here. Always initialize it. Remember that. Please note it down. What about the hoisted? Hoisting is allowed. Let's try that. So here I'm writing, give me the value of, pi. See this, this is a small pi and this is the capital pi. These are the two different variables. So don't get confused. And then here I'm writing constant. The value of pi is equal to 3.14. What will happen at the runtime? Hoisting is allowed or not with the constant variables. When I try to run it, you see that, okay, again, it will start giving me the error over here. The assignment to constant variable. Sorry, days equal to 10, it's giving me the error. Let me just comment it out. Okay, just a second. Let's run it again. The error was coming because of the days. So let's run it again. See this, cannot access pi before the initialization. Never use hoisted in the real time. This is just a initial bug. JavaScript has to solve it. That's why they introduce a let and the constant. Hoisting is never used in Playwright or any real time. Okay, Riyaz? So remember this thing, it will always give you the error over here. So interviewer is asking, okay, hoisting is allowed with the let and the constant? No, it's not allowed. You can do it, but when we run it, it will always give you the error. Hoisting is the feature of where. That's why people started using the let because of these unnecessary complexity with the where. Right? That's why if you remember that, okay, if you're coming around, let's see, 7, 8 years back, if you have seen the JavaScript, people used to hate this particular concept with the where. That time let was not there. Sometimes people has to be very careful about, okay, when to declare the where, what if some duplicate variables are someone has assigned or someone has declared or the hoisting is written. Then in that case, we used to be very careful while writing the code. But now because of the let, it's easy to maintain the code here. I don't know when exactly they introduced. I don't remember the date or year, but in the modern JavaScript, let is always preferable. And for constant, we have to use constant over here. Okay, no Tirtha, that's good. Okay, you are getting error messages very easy to understand. Wait for a couple of sessions, you will get to know that why JavaScript is like super weird. Okay, but we will try to make it easy. Don't worry. This is clear. Okay, see this line number 30, no error, because line number 30 will not give you the error. Line number 30 simple says, okay, fine. This is let, right? This is not a constant. So I can declare it. So what exactly the output when I try to print it? It is just simple giving me the undefined over here. Yeah, and actually introduced in ECMA ES6, ECMA script 6, around 2014-15. Okay, that is not important for us. Shortcut for console.log, simple, write CLG. This first option is coming and then enter. Okay, now see this. Now what we are going to talk about is, we know, okay, these are the three important keywords that we have to use, where we have to avoid it, but let and the constant, frequently we have to use it here. It means whenever I have to declare a variable, 99% cases, we will be using, in fact, 100% time cases, we will be using let and the constant. If the value is fixed, we will go with the constant. If the value is like not fixed, we can go with the let, but we will never use where over here. Exactly, Zisha. Hosting means before declaration, you are trying to access the value of that variable. This is called hoisting. It's weird, right? That how can you use pi at line number 63? So see what will happen. JavaScript will try to run it, okay, line by line. It will reach over here at line number 63. It will try to 63, okay, says, okay, what is this? There is no value of pi till line number 62. So it will start giving you the error over here. Okay, so that's why the hoisting is before initialization, before declaration, you're trying to access the variable here. I told you, right, Ramya, red line errors are coming because of the parser. We discussed, right, in the last session. The parser will check the basic minute things in the JavaScript, but 90% of the things, I would say the scripting and all those things will be checked at the runtime. Okay, it will not give you the red line error over here for these kind of things. Okay, this is done by the JavaScript at the runtime. Compiler and the interpreter will check at the runtime, not at the compile time. Parser will check the basic stuff, basic rules, and that's it. Okay. Now see this carefully. Can I write it like this? Here I'm writing one variable, let r is equal to, let's see, 10. And let's see above that also I'm writing one variable r is equal to 20. Is this allowed? One variable that I have declared with the where and one variable that I have declared with the let. Practically, I will never use it. Where is a different variable and then r let is a different variable. When you try to run it also, see this. It will start giving you the error over here. Why? The error is coming because of the where or because of the let? The error is coming because of the let. Because let says if the variable is already taken, I should not take it. So that's why see this, the identifier r is already been declared here. So you should not write the code like this. Okay. So first of all, ignore it like this. First of all, we will never use let and where together. We will never use where. So forget about, we will come into this particular picture like this. Okay. We will never use where and let together. Okay. Now see this carefully. I'll do one thing, just a second. Let me rename it because this is not the exact data type. Here we are talking about the concept of let, where, and the constant. Okay, I'm just changing the rename. Just simple right click on it, or you can just simple go to rename. You can rename the file name. Now we are going to create one more file here. Now we are going to talk about the actual data types .js, right? As I have already written that data types means the type of data here. Okay. So can anyone tell me what are the different data types are available in the JavaScript? So there are two types of data types are available. One is, yes, hoisting. We'll see with the functions when we talk about with the functions. Okay, so see this first, primitive data types. And the second one is non-primitive data types. What does it mean? See this. Okay, primitive data type means these data types are very straightforward. I can say simple data types, right? All these data types will be stored where? All these data types will be stored inside the stack memory. I'll tell you what do you mean by stack memory. Okay. All these data types are not part of object. It means there is no object concept, there is no object reference concept. We will not talk about the objects, we will not talk about the references. Simple values are available, and then I would say their fixed values or fixed memory is available. Memory is what? It's already predefined with the data type, that how much bytes and bits it will take in the memory, right? Second thing is, another thing is that there is no concept of garbage collector. You understand what is garbage collector? Don't worry. We will see in upcoming chapter what do you mean by garbage collector, right? But when we talk about the non-primitive data types, non-primitive data types means we are talking about the objects. It means we are talking about the references, right? We are talking about what? We are talking about the classes. We are talking about the arrays. We are talking about, let's see, functions. We are talking about objects. We are talking about what? We are talking about the classes, interfaces. These kind of concepts when come into the picture, these are called non-primitive data type. Do they have the fixed memory? No, they always have the dynamic memory. We don't know how much memory it will take, right? Okay, so today what we will talk about, obviously primitive data types, and then non-primitive data types we will see in the upcoming chapters. And where exactly non-primitive data types will be stored inside the stack memory or the heap memory, it will be stored inside the heap memory. Now, some people must be thinking, what is this heap or stack you're talking about? Don't worry, everything will be crystal clear in upcoming chapters. Okay, when we talk about the stack memory, heap memory, and other type of memory also, that time we will see it over here. Now see this. What are the different primitive data types are available in JavaScript? See, JavaScript is very simple. JavaScript is not dealing with like, okay, you have to declare integer, byte, short, double, float, okay, character, right? String is also there in Java languages. But here in the primitive data types, it's very simple. Okay, so let's write one by one. First, we are talking about the number, not integer, number. Okay, how to declare? Never write number, never write integer or something like this. Always declare it with what? Let or where. We have already seen where we will avoid it. We will use with the let here. Let's say I'm writing let I is equal to 10. Simple. So what is the type of I? If I run, print the value of I. What is the type of I? The type of I is number and 10 is getting printed here. Remember this thing? There is one simple method is called type of. Okay. The type of I is what? You put a bracket here and then supply I. So it will tell you at the runtime when we run this code, right? It will tell and it will decide that, okay, hey, what is the type of I? So can anyone tell me what will be the output for type of I? The type of I is a number, not integer. See this, it's a number. In JavaScript, we call it number. Shantala. Okay, don't say integer. We say number. Every number is called, any type of number is called number, not integer. So later on, let's see if I declare a variable, let j is equal to 12.33. Yes, constant also can take a number, right, Priyanka? We have already seen pi equal to 3.14. So see, again, I'm printing these values and then type of j will be what? Can anyone tell me what is the type of j? Remember this small method type of j. If I really want to know what is the type of that variable, the type of j is not decimal number or any floating number. It will always give you a number. See this for 12.33 also, it's giving me number, not float, Janvi. Float is the concept of Java. But here, everything, ultimately it's a number, right? It's a decimal number, right? It's a pure number. Everything is called a number in JavaScript. Either you write 10, 100, 12.33, 1.22, negative number, positive number. Any number is called a number. That's it. Right? No, let, where, and constant, they are not data types, Akula. They are the existing keywords to declare a variable. Data type is this. The number is the data type. Let is not the data type. Let is just a keyword to declare a variable. Okay? That's a very good question. Yes, yes. We will talk about the memory also. Wait for some time. So see this. Again, I'm writing let variable, or let's say constant variable with the pi is equal to what? 3.14. So then I'll say, okay, console.log, please give me the type of, see, if you don't want to write a bracket, you can directly write it like this also. I told you, right? Never take the where, Faisal. Okay, where we have already declared about it, because with the where, there are so many problems are there. Okay, so in real time, we never use the where. Okay, so see guys, you can write it like this also. Without bracket also, you can write it. It's very easy to write. So what is a type of pi? Yes, you can say identifiers also, or keyword identifiers also. You can call constant and the let. These are the identifiers for the variables. Okay, so let's run it. See this again, it's also a number. 3.14 is a number. Simple. Okay. But when we talk about any data types, we have to talk about their size also. Yes. So what do you mean by size? What I told you, whenever we write anything in any programming language, these are the variables that I'm declaring, right? It will go somewhere, right? So let's see, there is some Java memory. I don't know what Java memory is, stack or heap or whatever. I'm not bothered about it. Let's see, simple. This is my JavaScript memory, not sorry, Java memory, JavaScript memory. So this I equal to 10 will go over here. Let's see, okay, this is I equal to 10, J is equal to 12.33, and this pi is equal to 3.14 will be stored over here, right? Wait, we will come to the string also, Mamta. First, let's see the numbers. So obviously that, okay, this memory will be created on what? On my hard disk or on my RAM? Let's see your basic fundamentals in computer science. It will be stored where? On the RAM or on the hard disk? On the RAM always, guys, not on the hard disk. That's why we always say RAM is what? Read access memory. It's a dynamic memory, right? So let's see, this is my RAM in my laptop. That's why we always say, guys, please get a good laptop with a good RAM, 16 GB laptop or 8 GB laptop. So let's see, this is my 16 GB laptop, not the hard disk. And then on 16 GB, any programming language or any application which is running in my laptop, let's see this Visual Studio Code, Node.js, and then other things also, let's see Chrome is also running, some other Sublime is also running. Everyone will take small memory out of the 16 GB. If more and more applications, if I try to access, obviously my memory will be consumed more and my laptop speed will be slow. So same thing for the JavaScript also. JavaScript will take some memory from the RAM. Let's see, assume that, okay, it is taking around, I'm just randomly saying 100 MB, for example, out of 16 GB, 100 MB JavaScript is taking it. So out of 100 MB, how many bytes and bits will be taken for let I equal to 10, right? So always remember that whenever we talk about the memory will be calculated in the form of bytes and bits. This is just like when we walk kilometers and meters, right? Milliliters and liters for the liquid, we use it. Same thing in the memory, we talk about bytes and bits. And always remember, 1 byte is equal to what? Can anyone tell me? If I write simple, 1 byte is equal to how many bits? Is equal to 8 bits. So same thing if I ask that, okay, fine, for the numbers, what is the size? How many bytes it will take? It will take 8 bytes, guys. And 8 bytes is equal to how many bits? 64 bits. Because 1 byte is equal to 8 bits. So 8 bytes is equal to 64 bits. So in the JavaScript, whenever I'm declaring any variable with the number, so let's say I have declared 3 variables. Can you tell me what is the total size in the memory in terms of, let's say, bytes? Can I say 8 multiplied by 3 is equal to 24 bytes? And 24 multiplied by 8, it will take that number of bits. Okay. So this guy will take 8 bytes, this guy will take 8 bytes, and this guy also will take 8 bytes. Any number, doesn't matter, it's a point value or the normal value. They will always take the 8 bytes. This is the fixed memory here. Okay, fine. Then we talk about the second data type. The second data type is what? String over here. Do we have any string? Wait, if number is big, wait for some time. Coming on that point. A string is what? What I told you. Naveen. Naveen is a string or number? Amazon application. If I write the spelling of Amazon or title or the URL or the product name or the description, they all are what? They all are the strings, right? So always remember strings will be written either with single quote or you can write double quote also, doesn't matter. Can I say string is the sequence of characters? How to declare, right? So I'm writing let. Yes, I'm coming on the range also. Please Uday, wait for some time. Focus here first. So for example, let's say I'm writing let name is equal to what? Let name is equal to testing. So I'm writing in the double quote, or I can say, okay, what is your first name? First name is equal to what? In the single quote also you can write, let's say my first name is Naveen over here. And the naming convention you will follow with the variable is what? See, if single word is there, simple name. If multiple words are there, so camel cases that you have to write F small N capital. If I say first full name, so what, how do you write it? F capital full name. This is a naming convention that we have to follow, right? I simple say first name is equal to Naveen. Either you write single quote or double quote. Both are allowed, but don't mix them. If you follow single quote, always follow single quote. If you follow double quote, always use double quote here. No, there is no concept of character. You simple write, okay, fine. What is the gender of that particular employee? I simple write M or F here, right? You want to run this particular code or not? Is executed or not? So I simple say yes or no. So simple Y or no. But what is the type of this gender or is executable? Is what? It's a string. They all are strings. Whatever you write in single quote or double quote, everything is called what? Everything is called a string. How will you prove it? Simple. Let's see this. So first of all that I'm writing console.log. If I print the name here, right? Or let's see if I'm printing the first name here. So what is the output for first name? First name will print what? Naveen here. But if I say, okay, hey, what is the type of console.log? Again, I'm writing type of first name here. Right? No, there is no specific concept of character here. Character is also considered as string in JavaScript. So when I run this, so what is the type of first name? See, the type of first name is a string here. Now, if I say, hey, what is the type of gender? Let's try that. See, so this type of method is very useful. So if I run it again, see, this is also giving me string here. First, for first name also giving me string here. So if someone is asking you at a time of interview that what is the type of string variables with double quote or single quote, always and always a string, right? So if I write it like this, let phone number is equal to in single quote 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is a string or a number. Again, console.log and I'll write, okay, give me the type of phone number. What I told you, whatever you're writing in double quote or single quote, everything will be considered as string only. So if you write a number also, a point value also, everything will be considered as string because you're writing in the single quote or in the double quote, right? We will see concatenation and all those things in a coming chapter, not today. Yes, of course, a string will be concatenated and all those things, but this is the second data type that whenever you're writing, let's see any good example, string as small here. Okay, this is not like you're writing. See this, all the types are coming with the small s here, not capital S. A string is a class in Java. There's nothing like that here. Whenever you declare it like this. Okay, I'm talking about, I really want to go to Amazon. The product name is what? The product name is MacBook Pro. Like this, I will declare it. If I really want to print, okay, let's print it. Product name on the console. So let's see this. It's printing product name MacBook Pro on the console. Right? What is the size? How many bytes and bits it will take? Quickly, if anyone knows. It's very important interview questions. So the size is it will take 2 bytes per character. Okay, see this is slightly different as compared to other languages, 2 bytes per character. So for example, let's say I'm declaring one variable here. Let's see E is equal to ABC. So what is the memory size for this E? 2 bytes per character. How many characters are there? 3 characters multiplied by 2 is equal to 6 bytes it will take. This is how JavaScript will calculate. 2 bytes per character it will take. No, you cannot use variable name as a string or number. Avoid that, Gaurav. Okay, console.log, nothing to explain here. Console.log is used to print something on the console. This is just to print something on the console to get the output here. Okay, log is a method and console is the existing object in the JavaScript. Yes, you can print a message also. Message how to print, we will see in the next chapter when we talk about the concatenation concept. But still you really want to print. So see this. My first name is what? What is a concatenation operator? Plus operator. And then I'm writing the first name here. Okay. So if you don't understand what is plus operator, avoid that. This is my next chapter we will see when we talk about the concatenation operator. But today, if you run it simple, my first name is Naveen here. Yes, space, everything will be considered. See this. If I'm writing up, put a space over here. This is a string or what? Yes, of course it's a string, right? So this is also considered dollar special character is also what? This is not a character in JavaScript. This is what? This is also a string here. Dollar, any special character you want to use, I can use it here. Girish, next chapter, we will see in upcoming chapter. Conversion and all those things, we will do it later, okay? Don't jump into advanced topics directly, right? Yes, mutability also, immutability also, we will see. Not today, guys, please. I know you guys are coming from Java background, you know the keywords, immutability and all those things, but have some patience. We will cover step by step. Okay, before that, we have to understand a couple of important things. Then we will go to the next level, next chapter. Okay, there is no limit as such in the string. But here we have a limit. I'll tell you what is the limit for the number means. What is the range of the number? Ranges also behaves differently here. So a string is clear. Whenever we have to define a string, we have to write what? Any paragraph. Anything that is like looks like a string, I have to declare it with the string. Okay. Now see this carefully. The third one is what? A Boolean here. Right? Why console.name is showing as deprecated? No, that's a different concept because in the JavaScript also one variable name variable is existing there. So that's why it's always giving you a deprecated warning. You can ignore that. Do we have a Boolean here? Yes, we have a Boolean. Boolean means what is the value of Boolean? Either it can be true or it can be false. Boolean also we will see what are different conditions for the Booleans, if else, switch cases and all those things after 2-3 days. But right now, how to declare a Boolean? Simple, again, I simple write, okay, fine. Let's see any variable flag is equal to true or false. So again, I'm printing it. What is the value of flag? The value of flag will be a true here. See, it's giving me a true here, right? A nice example, I really want to check, okay, that is this particular employee is active or not. Let's see, I'll write false. So in that case, it will give you what? Again, if I print it, it will start giving me false here. So see, this is giving me false. If I really want to check the type of this, so I simple write type of flag. It will give you what? No, Suraj, that's a wrong concept, right? Type of U plus B. It does not make any sense. Okay. So type of flag is what? So type of value of flag is what? Flag is what? Flag is equal to true. I'm writing in single quote or double quote. No single quote, no double quote. I'm writing without any single quote, double quote. So why is this string? It's a Boolean, right? Boolean means either true or false. So when I run it, see, is giving me a Boolean here. Okay. So let's see, for example, if I'm writing once again, let flag is equal to, is this allowed once again? No, you cannot write capital true or capital false here. That's not allowed. So that is not allowed. But let's see if if I write it like this. Let's see any variable rest is equal to what? Now I'm writing in the single quote. Then I'm writing a value true here. And then I'm saying console.log, the type of rest, the string or boolean. We will cover backtick, guys. Everything will be covered, but not in one day. Please let me cover. I know the sequence very well. Please cover this, please cover that. We will cover it, right, whenever it's needed. Not today. Template variables is a different concept, not part of data types. We cannot cover everything in one day, right? Agree or not? So please focus whatever I'm covering. Everything will be crystal clear. There is a sequence that we have to follow. Okay. So what is the type of rest? The type of rest is a string. Why a string? Because 2 is written within the single quote. So it will be considered as a boolean or as a string. See, will you write the code like this? Don't you think it looks so ugly? Yes, Ojan, I can see your chat. Right? We will not write the code like this because we know that, okay, we have to take a Boolean value, and Boolean value will always be written without double quotes. It's like pure true or false value over here. Right? So what is the size it will take? Can anyone tell me for the Boolean? Not 1 bit, not 4 bytes. Okay. Generally, it will take approximately 1 byte. And 1 byte is equal to around 8 bits it will take to store the value. For the Boolean, because for Boolean, I don't need to do much thing here. Either it is only true or false. So I don't need much space. Just simple 1 byte I need or 8 bits I need. So it will take around 1 byte over here to store the Boolean values. Right? Everything will be assigned, yes, allocated during the runtime. Memory allocation will always happen at the runtime only. Okay, fine. Now see this. Yes, you can use true with the let also. We are using let, right? With the where also we can use it. See, try to understand. Don't get confused. We don't need to write Boolean here. We have to write either let or where or constant, right? So we cannot write Boolean here. We cannot write number here. We cannot write a string over here. That's why I told you, right? This is slightly different from Java. In Java, what we write? In Java, we write it like this. Okay, let's write Boolean B is equal to true or false. See, here it will start giving me the error. I cannot write it like this. I cannot say, okay, a string B is equal to in single quote Naveen here. No. In JavaScript, all the variables should be written either with the let, where, or constant. And at the runtime, it will be decided that what is the type of this particular variable. So we will never write the code like this. That's why you see that, okay, all my variables are starting with the let, where, or constant only. No, Abhishek, it will give you the error when you run it. Okay, no, if you write let and then where, it will not give you the error. Yes, you can use constant also to declare the constant booleans. Why not? See this, if I write it constant over here, you can write constant. Why not? And then you can write, sorry, constant over here as well. But I cannot now reassign this particular flag value. Once it is declared, it is declared. Okay, so what is the size of boolean? The size of boolean is 1 byte. Yes, exactly. These are the reserved keyword or identifiers, let, constant, and variable. We cannot use other than this. Okay, now see this. Come back to this particular number. What is the size of this? Okay, the size of number. If you talk in Java, Java is like so many types are there for numbers also. We have integer also, we have double also, we have float also, we have long, byte, short, right? Minus 128 to positive 127. But here, what is the number size? What do you think? It will take The size is, we have already discussed about it, right? 1 byte is equal to 8 bits. That we have already talked about it. Now let's talk about the range also. What is the range? Like up to what number we can assign the value, right? There should be a limit, right? It's not like, okay, I just keep adding the numbers here. Let's see, I'm just keep adding something like this, I'm just keep adding some number over here like this, a long number like that. There should be a limit, right? Right? What is that limit? That we have to understand. Okay. So you don't need to remember the limit. See this, you can do one thing. Just try to print console.log, use this particular number dot, okay, maximum safe integer value. This will be the maximum value. And then again, you write console.log dot, let me write it again, minimum safe integer value. This is the range will give you. So see, I'm running it, and then you don't need to remember the range. Even I don't remember. See, this is a range. It can take from here to here. Okay, I'll write it here like this. So negative this number to the positive this particular number it will take. This is a range. Right? Then your question should be that, okay, what if I'm going beyond this particular range? Then what will happen? So this is the highest, safest number, safest integer number. I should use it. But let's say you are working in some scientific calculation. Okay, a big calculation that you're doing in your project or in your program. Right? For example, let's say I'll take this particular number. Let's do some experiment over here. Okay, just a second. Let me write after this line, you will see something here. Okay, so here I'm writing, let's see, let some variable number is equal to this. Okay, and then I'm printing it this particular number. Will you get the output? Yeah, here we have to use number because number is the existing, you can say, a kind of class over here. Okay, so this minimum safe integer variable and maximum safe integer variable coming with the n capital here. Just to get to know about the safe integer value, I mean the max value or the minimum value. Okay, so that's why we have to use capital N over here. Okay, now I'm printing it on the console. So you see that, okay, yeah, the number is getting printed as it is on the console here, right? But now I'll try to do some calculation here. Okay, for example, let's see, I'll do number plus 1. Will you get the right output? Let's try that. See, I'm running it again. It's giving me something. See, it looks like correct. So that's why I try to understand that, okay, this is the minimum safe integer or maximum safe integer. This is like a very kind of safe value we can reach up to here. But if I try to add more and more digits over here, see something like this, if I try to keep adding it, then in that case, it might go beyond the range and it will start giving you some wrong output here. Okay, see this, it might give you the wrong output here, right? So for example, let's do like this, forget about this line. I'll declare one more variable. Let's see, number 1 is equal to what? Let's see, number and plus 10. And then I'm printing the value of number 1. Let's see what will be the output in that case. So this is what? This is the maximum number. And then I'm adding plus 10 over here, or let's forget about plus 10. Let's make it very simple. Let's see plus 1 here. It will give you error, or it will give you like simple, okay, 992, or it will give me some other number. Let's see that. Okay, see, it's giving me something 992 or something like this. Okay, so far it's correct. Let's do one thing. Now I'm writing 93 here. This is going beyond the range of the maximum number. Now I'll do the calculation here. Let's do it again. Okay, let's run it again. Sorry. See, now the number is coming again 992. Is it a right calculation? See this. Don't you think it's a wrong calculation? And they see that, okay, somewhere is giving me some warning kind of thing also. Can you see some 3-dot warning? It says the numeric literal with absolute values equal to 2 to the power 53. It means that the number that we have taken, this is around 2 to the power 53. If you go beyond 2 to the power 53, we will start giving you the wrong output. See, it's giving me the wrong output here. So are we losing the data or not? Yes, Abdul, I can see your messages. Right? So see this, because this is predefined. 2 to the power 3 is already predefined in JavaScript that, okay, we cannot go beyond this particular number that we have taken over here. This is a range. I'll write the range. I copy this range once again here. This is a range of the numbers. This is a maximum value that we are taking it. If you go beyond that, see, I'm going beyond that and adding +1, it's giving me up to 992, some weird number or some different number. It's not giving me the right output here. It should have given 994 here, right? But it's not giving me. So don't you think that, okay, my calculation is wrong here if I go beyond the range? So what is the solution for that? So in order to solve this particular problem, no, there is no Abhilasha. It's not like any calculation here like this, 2 to the power n minus 1 or something like this. Okay, here remember 2 to the power 53 will give you that particular range. No, we cannot change the range. It's fixed already in JavaScript. We cannot change it. Okay, these are the fixed values. Okay, so that's why the fourth guy coming into the picture, this is called big integer. Okay, not long, big integer. So see this, how to declare a big integer. So if I really want to declare a big integer, let's create a variable name. See this carefully. I'm writing, let's see, one variable name. So let's see, the variable name is nm, whatever, or let's write a nice variable name. Let's see, billing, or let's write a simple variable name, amount is equal to what? Yes, people will ask about the ranges. If you never know, you should know about the range 2 to the power 53. Remember that. Okay, negative 2 to the power 53 to positive 2 to the power 53. Obviously, you cannot remember this long number, but remember 2 power 53. Right? Because see, it's giving me a small warning here. See this, Rahul. It says equal or 2 to the power greater than or too large to represent this particular integer. Okay, so parser will start giving you a small warning here. Right? But now let's see for example. I'll do the same calculation. I'm writing this number. And then at the end, I'm writing n over here. So remember in the JavaScript, whenever a number is ending with the n, it will automatically become what? Big integer. And big integer is used for what? Generally, it is used for the long values, or you can say the large values. Large values means which is going beyond the range of numbers. So if you really want to go beyond the range of this number, then you will start going to use with the big integer. And what you have to declare with the big integer, once you write the number, please write n at the end. It will automatically become a big integer. How will you prove it? See, I'm printing it, console.log, the type of AMT. What is the type of AMT? Big integer or a number? No, if it is going beyond the range, it is not hot code or warm code. It's just a number. This is not a calculation, right? It's not a for loop or kind of thing. Okay. So what do you think? Again, very famous interview question. If something you see, let's say you're doing some exam or, some objective question that you are solving it or any written paper you are giving, remember that it will start giving you a big int over here, not a number. Okay. So this is a data type. No, we don't have data typecasting like this. Typecasting is different here. This is not typecasting. No, this is don't write. Okay. Other than n. Now tell me, if I write it like this, again, I'm writing, let's see, one variable te is equal to 10n. So what is the type of te? What I told you. Whenever you are writing any number ending with n, it will be what? It will automatically become what? Big integer. So see this is also big integer. Okay. But will you prefer it like this? No, I don't want to prefer it here like this. Why? Because 10 I can easily store with a normal variable also, right? Like without n also, it will consider as a normal number. But still, if you want, you can write it. There is no harm in that. No, it is not wasting the space also, not unnecessary memory also. Okay, it will still take some 8 bytes in the memory. So here we don't need to very much bother about the memory here. Okay, but logically or practically, if you see that, okay, this is just a small number, I can easily, go with the normal, without n also, normal number also. Why to make it unnecessary big integer here? Why? Okay, see, there is one limitation with the big integer. What is the limitation? See this carefully. Here I'm writing one variable here. X is equal to 10. Then I'm writing another variable. Y is equal to 20n. So you tell me this number is number or big integer? This is a number. And this 20n is what? 20n is the big integer number. Can I do the calculation between these two numbers? If I write x plus y, what do you think? Can I do the calculation here? A number is getting added with the big integer number. So the moment you try to do that, and then it will start giving you an error over here. Remember, this is the limitation with the big integer. Big integer will be calculated with the big integer only. Okay, see this, it says that I cannot mix big integer and the other types. Use explicit conversions. It means you convert n to n or remove n from the y. Okay, so this is what cannot mix big integer with the other data type. Remember that it will start giving you the error over here. But now will it give me the error? Let me just comment it out. Again, I'm writing console.log and then x plus y. I'll do one thing. The 10 is also now what? Big integer. So this is also big integer. This is also big integer. Will it work? Now it will start working. You see that, okay, it's giving me 30n here. And the output is also what? 30n. 30n is big integer or what? 30n is also a big integer because n is written there. This concept is clear. So what we have to do, can we mix the big integer with the other number? No, it's not about the playwright. Okay, it's all about the use cases. If you have any application where such a big number you really want to tackle, it's not about the playwright. Playwright does not matter. Playwright says, okay, whatever the number, how should I? Okay, I'm not bothered about it. You are talking about a number in your application, depends on your project, depends on your application. Let's say you're working with some scientific calculation where numbers are so large, so big. Then in that case, I'll go with the big integer. It's nothing related to the playwright. Okay, no, it's not a constant or anything kind of thing. N is what? N is just a identifier to represent the big integer number. Can we write 20.22 here? This is also another limitation. See, this 20.22 is not allowed. Big integer literal must be an pure integer. So point values are not allowed. Note it down as well. Right? So any calculation that you're doing, X, Y, Z, Ravi, if you're taking it, if all three variables are big integer, then only you can do the calculation. Otherwise, you cannot do that. Okay, this is the simple way of declaring it by using the n here. Right? Now see this. If parser is giving me the error, it would have given me the red line error here. A runtime error means at the runtime, we will get the error. Okay. Now see this. If I declare a variable like this, let's see variable pop, any variable name, and then I'm writing, see this big integer, and then in a bracket, I'm writing, let's see 100 over here. Is it a big integer? Pop. This is another way of writing the big integer. Like this also, you can do that. Okay, so if I say, okay, fine, let's print the value of pop. What will be the output, 100 or 100n? Okay, so let's run it again. So here C is giving me 100n. So what is the output? The output is 100n. 100n is what? The big integer. Yes, n is always appended. Okay, just to identify that it's a big integer number. And how will you prove it's a big integer? By using the type of pop is what? Simple. JavaScript is easy, right? As compared to Java. No much things. No need to remember so many things. Just simple big integer. No. Highlighted in blue and all those things, it doesn't matter. Come on, double. Okay. Highlight and all doesn't matter. See the output. What exactly the output is that? Yes, big integer, you can say it's a kind of inbuilt constructor. And in the constructor, we are passing a value over here. Right? Now see this. Can I write it like this? Now you can do all these experiments by your own. TRR is equal to C. Someone is saying, can we write a string here, 100n? Is it a big number or big integer number? No, this is not a big integer, guy. This is written with the single quote. Okay. So don't get confused over here unnecessary. So now tell me what is the output for this? Pop is divided by 2n. Pop is 100 and divided by 2n, doing some mathematical calculation. So let's see what is the output of this. See, is giving me 50n. Right? Why I'm writing 2n here? What I told you, any mathematical operation, pop is big integer. 2n is also what? Should be a big integer. If I remove the n from here, then what will happen? Let's see. See the error. I cannot mix big integer with other types. Are we mixing it? Yes. Pop is a big integer and 2 is a normal number. Got it? Okay. Fine. Big integer is clear. Remember that people might ask you the concept of big integer. Okay. Now quickly, I'll take 2 more minutes. Please don't leave because I don't want to, extend this to the next chapter. The next data type we are talking about null here. Right? You can try Ankita this pop divide by 2 and then you're writing n. We will see that. So what is null? Null means simple nothing. Nothing means no value. No blank space. Okay. No space, no blank space, nothing. Just simple null means nothing. It means I don't know what is the current value right now. So I'll put null. Right. And what is the size of null? Yes, Nidhi, I'm getting your messages. If you have any question, feel free to write, right? No, there is no big float, only big integer. For float, we will see a separate thing. So what is the size of null? There is no size of big integer. There is no predefined size for the big integer. Okay, generally it is not defined in any language also. It depends on the how many digits that you are declaring it. So there is no fixed size for the big integer. That's why I'm not writing any size for the big integer. Okay. So quickly, what is the size of null in terms of bytes and bits? It depends on the engine, which engine that we are using. V8 engine in the Node.js, right? So generally, see, this is also a very be careful at the time of interview. Don't blindly say, okay, it will take 8 bytes or 0 bytes. It depends on the engine. It might take between 0 to 8 bytes, and we are not very much bothered about it. It's just a simple null value. Okay. Generally, in some specs, in the some V8 engine specification, it's written with the approximately 8 bytes it will take. And later on, JavaScript can optimize it also with the help of turbofan. It can reduce it to 4 bytes also. That's why there is no fixed size for the null. So we will always say diplomatic answer. It might take 0 to 8 bytes. Depends on what? Depends on the engine that you are using it here. Right? And what do you mean by null? Null means nothing, no value. Yes, they will ask all these kind of questions. And if they don't ask also, how does it matter? We should know about all these things, right? We are not preparing only for interview. We are preparing for the concepts. Okay. Yes. So all the ranges that I have given to you on the basis of V8 engine. Tomorrow, if you go to, let's say, SpiderMonkey, the ranges might be different. But we are using Node.js V8. So that's why we are using, considering those ranges only. How to declare a null value? Let's see, name. Let's say I'm writing, let's say something like this. My name is equal to right now, I don't know, null over here. Let's say I'm reading some data from the Excel file or CSV file. Data is not available. I'm writing null over here. Wait, Rajesh. Right? So if I print the value of data, what will be the output? The value of data will be, let me just simple, first of all, make it 2n here. Otherwise it will start giving me the error. Let's run it again. So see, it's giving me null, not undefined. Did I cover undefined? No, right? It will give you null over here. Data is equal to null. It means null. And remember, what is a type of null? Can anyone tell me? Again, interview question. Hmm? Hmm. No, Priyanka, it's not like that. So what is the type of data? Null is coming from which category? Okay. This is the, if you read some really good books, this is the existing bug in JavaScript. Generally, the type of data is what? Data is equal to what? Null, right? Null should come from the null type. But when you print this on the console, see this, it will start giving you what? It will start giving you object, not a string, not undefined object. And remember, note it down. This is the JS bug, JavaScript bug. You can read it anywhere. This is a bug, existing bug, and it will be like this only. Ideally, it should be what? The type of data should be null, right? It's giving me object over here. And object is primitive or non-primitive? Object is what I discussed, right? Object is part of non-primitive. We are talking about primitive data types. Primitive data type means null is also coming from the primitive data type. Don't you think it's conflicted here? Okay, so consider this thing, small things. Yes, it will give you the object here. The next one, sixth one, is undefined. What is undefined? Hmm. Usha, you will not understand not part of object. I told you, right? These are the concept we will see in upcoming chapter. Right now, you don't understand what is object, what is reference variable and all. Okay. So when we talk about this thing, that time you will understand that. This chapter is still not completed. Okay. What do you mean by undefined? Undefined means if I declare a variable is v, and then I'm writing console.log print the value of v. It means it is null or undefined. See, when we don't initialize anything, it will give me undefined here. Remember that. It will not give you null here, right? But if I write let v is equal to null, then only it will give you the null. But right now, if I'm not declaring anything, I mean, I'm declaring it, but not assigning anything, there is no equal to sign here, then in that case, it will be undefined here. And what is the size of the undefined? Again, same thing, same diplomatic answer. Size is 0 to 8, depends on the engine, that which engine that you're using it. This is a range. We are not sure about it. That's it. Okay. So in that case, it will be undefined. If you same thing with the variable also, if I write, okay, variable C is nothing, and then I'm printing the value of C. So what is the output for C? Again, I have not written anything. Output for C is also, in that case also, it will be undefined here. Okay. And then finally, I'm printing the type of C. Undefined is coming from which data type, which type? This is what we're talking about, right, Anuradha? If you don't declare anything, it will give you undefined, right? But if you explicitly write null over here, then it will be null instead of undefined. Null means no value. I have no idea what will be the value, right? Or let's say you're reading some Excel file. Let's say you're reading some PDF, you're reading some Word document or any Excel file, any CSV file, data is not available. It will start giving you null over here. But I'm not sure about, okay, what is the value of V initially? I have no no value available for this. By default, it will be undefined here. So what is the type of C? C is what? C is C. It will be number, Boolean, integer, sorry, or undefined or null or what? Or object? Hmm? No, not object. It's undefined only. Okay. So for C also undefined, V is also the type of V is also undefined over here, not object. Swamika, got it? So how many data types are available? So far, how many data types we have seen? 6 data types. This is the sixth one. Null and undefined, these are the special ones. Remember, this is the bug. People might ask you at a time of interview. The object of null is always what? Is the, sorry, the type of data is always, type of null is always an object. Remember that. Can we write it like this? Again, I'm writing a variable. Let's see, SD is equal to in double quote like this. So what is the type of SD? Type of SD. I'm writing in double quote. It's null, it's undefined, or a string. If I write a blank string over here, see, ultimately return everything in the double quote, right? So it's a string. Why confusion? Now tell me what is the output of this? If I'm writing null in double quotes, what is the type of SD? Again a string, because null I have deliberately written in double quotes. So again it's a string. If I write undefined also, everything is written inside the double quote will be considered as undefined. So again string here, right? Can I directly assign the value with undefined? Yes. Let's see. Again, I'm writing, let's see, TE is equal to, if I'm writing undefined here in the beginning itself, can I write it like this? I think TE we have already taken. Let's write QA is equal to undefined. Yes. So what is the value of QA? Like this also we can do that. Why not? Right? So in that case also the value of QA is simple, undefined. Like this also we can do that. What is the type of QA? The type of QA is undefined only. Yes, you will get this proper with the notes and everything with file also. Okay, yes, Priyanka. So null and undefined, these are the existing literals. You can say existing keywords available here. Okay, clear about this? Okay, this chapter is still not completely completed. In the next chapter, we will see the concept of a scope also. Okay, then we will get to know more properties about the let, where, and the constant variables. Okay, parser has no compiler, Gaurav, I told you, right? In the TypeScript, we will have the compiler, but not in the JavaScript. Okay. So whenever we are writing anything, who is checking the basic stuff over here? Who is ignoring these comments? Parser. Remember, I told you the parser is there, and then the parser will just keep checking, ignoring the see extra spaces are available. It will ignore that. Any comments are there, it will ignore that. And then the parser will be converted into the AST, the abstract syntax tree, and then AST to the interpreter, interpreter to the bytecode to the machine code, and then finally giving me the output here. Compiler is available at the runtime only. That is also, what is the compiler name? The JIT compiler. Compiler is used only for the profiling, only to improve the performance. If any hot code is available, then the turbofan is coming from the compiler. It will cool down the process and then improve the performance. Simple. Okay, yes, double quote, single quote, doesn't matter. Everything is considered in JavaScript as a what? As a string only. Okay, now I'll take 2 more minutes. I just forgot. Can you see this run icon here? Bhargavi, please revise the last chapter. We have already talked about, right? What is hot code? What is cold code? Okay, see, it's so easy, right? Just like we do practice in Java, in Eclipse or IntelliJ, just click on this and the output is coming. Let's see if this run icon is not available, then what will you do? Then in that case, you have to go to the terminal that I shown you, right? In the last session, which command that we have to use? Go to the terminal here, right? And this is the file that we have written inside the SRC folder. And then I have to take the help from where? I have to take the help from the node. So then in that case, I simply say a node. What is a folder name? Folder name is src. Which file that you want to run? Data types. This file that we are having it. Sorry, data types is directly available. See, I'm writing data type.js. So with the help of node, we have to run it, and then we are running it, and then here we are getting the output. So why to execute this command again and again? So don't you think that, okay, we should enable this particular run button, click on it and then get the output. If you really want to clear the output, click on this cross icon, output will be clear. Again, you run it. It's super easy to write the code, run the code and get the output. Okay. So how to enable this? So see this, how to enable it. What you have to do, there is a one small extension that you have to install in your Visual Studio Code. So click on this particular settings over here and click on the extensions. Okay. Later on, we will download multiple extensions also, but today just simple search for Code Runner. Fine. Simple search for Code Runner. And this is the extension. This is a very good extension. You see that, okay, rating is amazingly good. So many people, they have downloaded here. And you simply click on install button here. Fine. When you click on install, please restart your Visual Studio Code once. Super simple. See, this is the icon, .run is the icon. And then install and then restart your Visual Studio Code. After that, what you have to do? After that also, if this run icon is not coming, 90% cases the run icon will come. Okay. If it is not coming, then what will you do? Restart your Visual Studio Code. And then what you do? Simple go back to your project. And then you have to press one settings over here. You have to open the settings of your Visual Studio Code. How will you open that? Press Control, comma. If you're using the Mac machine, Command, comma. See this. Can you see settings.json is got opened? Okay, so this is a shortcut, Command and comma here. Yeah, you can check Anil black theme or whatever theme you want to use. You can do it. Okay, that you can check it by your own, right? So can anyone tell me when you downloaded this particular thing and are you able to see this run icon? Priyanka says it works for me. Yes, able to see, that's it. And then after that, write any simple code and print something on the console and click on this run icon. It will start working. If it doesn't work, so 99% cases, it will work. If it doesn't work, then what will you do? You go to the settings. See, I'm pressing control command comma or control comma in the Windows. Slightly scroll down, you will see one section over here. Can you see Code Runner Execute Map? Which language we are using? JavaScript. In front of JavaScript, you simply write node here. That's it. And then restart your Visual Studio Code. It will start working. I think for everyone it's working, so no need to do all these settings. By default, it will be done. Okay, so this is very handy. Just simple run this and then enjoy. But still, time by time, you just please practice with the node command also. Later on, we will see more node commands. With the node command also, you can easily do that. No. You cannot trace all those things. This is just for execution. If you really want to trace, you have to run with the node, obviously. Okay, the shortcut for console.log, simple write CLG, wait for a few seconds, and then it will start coming. There is no special settings for that. Okay, any question in this about the topic? No other topics, please, about career guidance or AI or ML. Any questions in this, Samika? You have anything?
Yes. Hi, Naveen. I have one question. What is the basic difference between null and undefined? And in case we have to use it, then which one we should use?
Both. Most of the time, we will be using null if you're not sure about the value, right? And if the, let's see, let v, I have declared over here, and I know that, okay, the value of v will be assigned later. So up to that, the value of v will be undefined until we assign the value. But let's see, whenever we are reading operation or any files that we are reading it, in that case, the value will be null over here. In case of objects also, when we declare, just like we do it, right, in Selenium driver equal to null. So same thing here for all the references of the objects, that time we will declare with the null. Okay, right now you don't understand what is object and all those things, so just ignore it. But whenever, let's say, we are performing any object related work, and the initial value will be null. But whenever we are writing, let's see, any normal variable and we are not sure about their values, so we say simple nothing, or we can say undefined also, like this that we have created here. If we don't write anything, by default, it will be undefined.
Okay, Naveen, got it.
Yeah, Ankur, quickly. You have anything?
Hi, Naveen. Yeah. So real declaration, you told, right? It is if we are using late, right? So it is not allowing. So it is because of late or because of parser?
Because of the parser.
Okay.
I mean, these parser is also having some JavaScript rules, right? Parser understand that, okay, you are writing let variable, same variable 2 times with the let. So it will give you the error here.
Because parser is not working in case of where, right?
Yes, for parser understand, okay, where is allowed. It's working, but
Got it, got it.
yeah, but the rule says in JavaScript, where is allowed with that multiple times with the same variable. So parser says, okay, fine, according to the rule, it's correct.
Yeah, a few two more questions. Like in Java, we are writing final, let's say final keyword, right? We're writing final integer. But in case here, we're not declaring the type, right? Only the keyword, right? Late or constant, right? Constant.
Yes.
Like we're not writing constant number equal to 10, right? Yeah.
No. Simple, write constant
Right,
and the
right.
variable name.
Got
It
it.
will automatically understand at the runtime it's a number.
Got it. And the last question: if I write let I equal to my name, Ankur, like we're writing let a equal to undefined, then we're getting data type as undefined. But if I, yeah, just no, this one fine, this one string, but without quote I'm asking. If I write
Without
only
quotes,
let Ankur,
what do you think? It should work?
yeah,
Let I
that is
is
the
equal to
thing. Yeah,
Ankur.
I want
Okay.
to ask.
So let's run it. I'll do one thing, console.log, and I'm printing the value of I. What will happen?
No, not value, the data type.
Okay, let's print it first. First of all, let's see, is it really printing Ankur or not? Okay, I think before that, I'll do one thing. Just a second. I'm just running only this particular code. See this. Ankur is not defined at object or something like this, right? So it is not considering, it's considering like Ankur is kind of variable. So this is just like, okay, A equal to B. It looks like Ankur is a variable. Okay. You're getting my point? So if you write type of also before that itself, it will start giving you the error here.
Got it.
Good question. Okay,
Thank you.
Vinash, you have anything? And then Chandra, Naveen, I'll take these guys. Guys, you have to raise your hand if you have any question. I'll unmute you then.
Yeah. Hey, Naveen, I have two small questions on it. First one is without decimal, there is no other limitation to big int. So why I won't always use big int if decimal is not a concern?
Yeah,
That is
as such you
the
can
only
write it, but
limitation.
generally it does not look good, right? Someone is reading your code. Okay, I
Okay.
get your point. Okay, you must be thinking that okay, big integer build might take some more memory. It's not like that. If you
Yeah.
want, see, only drawback with the big integer when you do any mathematical operation on the big integer, the another number also should be big integer.
Uh, okay. And second thing is like I can declare and initialize using